Matty and Steve, they set the stage. From classic bouts to the modern age. Every slam, every story, every legacy comes alive with wrestling pedigree. So tune on in, the spotlight's bright. The ring is ready on this podcast night. It's wrestling pedigree.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Wrestling Pedigree. I'm your co-host, Matty, and with me, I have the last real general manager of MWL, Steve Hawkins. How are you, sir?
Man, I am exhausted. Like, for most of you know by now that my day job is I am a salesman for Frito-Lay, which over here in the States, Frito-Lay sells chips. Across the pond, it's Walkers. With the Super Bowl being tomorrow, today I was in all of my stores twice. So it turned out to be about a 12.5-hour day. And it's just going to get worse tomorrow.
Holy shit. That's it. We should literally do some sponsorship for them, and they should sponsor us for the amount of work you do for them. So
Yeah,
they can send me free.
I'll reach out and see what I can do.
They can send me free walkers. Cheese and onion. Today's show, as we're diving into Attitude Era Month, we are doing Attitude Era Courtroom. So within the courtroom, you guys have gave us some of your moments from the Attitude Era. We'll discuss them. Let's see what type of moment it is. If it's an epic moment, or is it a forgetful moment, or stuff like that. So there will be probably some debate between me and Steve, because one of them did put Montreal Screwjob, which we are going to discuss. And by God, Steve is a Bret man. He's a Bret Mark, and he's proud of it.
The Hitman sits next to me every wrestling pedigree.
Exactly, and there's more to come as we got special news at the end of the show.
Yes.
So let's kick things off then, as we got a busy weekend, as I need my beauty sleep because I want to see the Seahawks beat the Patriots. I'm gonna get heat for that, I know. Let's go for the first one. Is there anyone's like coming into your head that you think we should debate about?
No, let's go with the things that our listeners talked about.
So the first one was actually from Louis Joshua.
Oh, Lewis. We love Lewis.
As you would know him on MWL as Scorpion. You know him as he pops on to the Ross Report show a couple of times. He put Stone Cold at Booker T Supermarket. I thought this was a ruthless aggression era. So I was like, no count. But it actually is classed as Attitude Era. So here's the thing. Would you class this as a very memorable moment in Attitude Era?
Oh, absolutely. This was one of my very, very favorite segments. Or actually, it ran most of the night, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Did he go to church at one point, Booker T?
Yes.
Or am I thinking off a different segment?
I think that might have been a different segment.
No, throughout the night, it was on the SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it was on the SmackDown. I'm trying to picture it in my head. I got Vince McMahon here, you got Ric Flair there, and I'm watching it. And Austin's after Booker T, and he goes to bingo. He goes to church. The church segment was weird. That's what came in my head because you had that really hot woman in confessional saying she's slept with her husband's brother with a videotape, and Booker T asked for the videotape. I love that part of the segment, but the supermarket for me is a great segment. Do you understand? Do you know the build up to it? Like, I know Booker T came in straight, obviously, during the uh invasion.
Yep.
So, do you remember the build up to this? Why this was going on?
Honestly, right now, with me being as exhausted as I am, I don't.
If I remember, I think he cost him the title at Vengeance against Chris Jericho.
That could be.
And then obviously we pissed off Austin, he's got to hunt you down, and then that's what happened. Do you remember anything in the supermarket you used? I remember the milk bit, but
Yep, I remember the milk very, very well.
you know what be good is that Kurt Angle there. Imagine that if you're delivering the chips, and then all of a sudden you see Stone Cold Steve Austin putting Booker T in a shopping cart, and by God, he's smacking him with some eggs.
I would be putting my chips in the back room really quick.
Would you? Obviously, there's been some backstage brawls, but would you say this is one of the best ones? Not just Attitude Era, but the best one for a very long while.
I would say so. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was goofy as hell, and goofy wrestling for life.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! And if you hey, what's up, Jeff? And
Hey, boss.
I'm gonna take that picture off because I saw what's in there. Oh wait, no, that's a Seahawks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'll keep it up. Also, with that supermarket, that hasn't been done since.
No.
I think it's hard to duplicate this. I do think this is an excellent Attitude Era moment, but because it's in between the invasion storyline, Jericho being the double champion, the undisputed champion, and the ruthless aggression just coming bit. I think that moment is stuck in the middle. I think.
Yeah, I think I would probably call that the last real Attitude Era moment.
Wow, really?
Yep.
What a time to seeing as it's still cold, that's a great time to sign off on the Attitude Era. But for that segment, I could see that was really good. Let's get into something more positive before I go on to the negative. Rock versus Stone Cold 15 and 17 was one of the listeners put at WrestleMania. Let's go for Rock Austin 15. I love the build up. Everyone remembers the beer truck the Monday Night Raw before.
Mm-hmm.
What was your take on Rock Austin 15 at Mania?
Rock Austin 15. I mean, the right person won. We were in the Attitude Era. We were in the era of Stone Cold. So definitely a great time for him to win.
And the greatest WrestleMania of all time, 17.
That match, I have absolutely no words for that match. The build up to it, the promos.
Oh yeah, the Limp Bizkit.
Fucking Limp Bizkit.
Oh man. The only problem I have probably with that is the heel turn.
I would agree with you there. I hate agreeing with people. Just ask Justin. Um, but yeah, I think that the heel turn was unnecessary.
Yes.
I don't think they really knew what they were doing with that heel turn. They just said, "Well, we got to try something different."
Kind of what they done with John Cena this last year.
Yeah.
Try to do something different. It didn't work, but they move on. I do think we should this year, when we do have some spare time, do a special episode of booking Stone Cold in 2001. Fancy book.
Ooh, I like it. Let's do it.
I think that will be an excellent way to go through it, just to see what we could do. And this is excluding. No, because fuck it, because let's add it. Because Invasion, it's our fancy booking. That means no one will have the AOL contracts.
Right.
So we could add fucking Hogan in 2001. Obviously, both matches are highlights, and I think 17 is more than 15.
Yes.
But I think people put Rock Austin 15, 17 just to see the difference between the Attitude Eras from 1999 to 2001. Because that 1999 to 2001 is pure Attitude Era for me.
Yeah. I think around the era of WrestleMania 15, the Attitude Era was a lot raunchier. When it
Yes.
got closer to 17, it was more attitude.
And more wrestling, I thought, that it,
Yeah.
2001 than it was in 1999. Everybody, like, you got beer trucks coming out in 1999, and 2001, you just have one milk float. Another one in 1999. I do think before we go on it, Rock and Austin for me is up there as one of the greatest rivalries, not just in Attitude Era but WWE, and I feel this is the ultimate Attitude Era rivalry. Do you agree?
I will absolutely agree with you there.
I know you got Undertaker Kane, and there's a whole fucking argument for that, but for me, Rock and Austin, you cannot beat. That's our childhood.
Yep. Like I really think that WWE could have probably done without, like, say there's no Undertaker, there's no Kane. I think that the Attitude Era was still successful with Rock and Austin. If you don't have Rock and Austin, the Attitude Era isn't as successful.
I don't think it yet. I don't think it would be successful because you had HBK gone, Bret Hart defected, excluding Undertaker Kane. You got Triple H, Mick Hard trying to get into that top level. Yeah, apart from that, it's a young, talented squad.
Yep.
The roster, and you had the two big bulls at the front. So yeah, I agree. Without Rock and Austin, you got nothing. I mentioned Brett going defecting, so let's go into it. Montreal Screwjob. Now we are going to do an episode of just this for later in the year because, by God, I will convince you to do it. But and get you in a happier and untired mood. So a quick one, Montreal Screwjob. It's been talked about so many times from so different views on Dark Side of the Ring and WWE's version and everything like that. Would you say this is a top? I know it's a stupid question to ask. Is this a top Attitude Era moment?
All right. In terms of WWE, yes, this was a top Attitude Era moment. In terms of professional wrestling, I think it was a big fucking black mark.
Oh. Explain.
Bret Hart trusted Vince McMahon more than just about anybody. He saw Vince as another father. He saw him as a father figure. For Vince to turn around and do this, that puts a big fucking black mark on him.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many other fucking ways that they could have done this. Brett was willing to drop it the next night. He was willing to do a virtual cornucopia of a million other things. Instead, Vince gets it in his head. Oh no, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Now, who did he tell that he was that they were gonna do this? Who knows? Did Shawn Michaels know about it? Who fucking knows? Did Triple H know about it? Who fucking knows? The only people we can say for sure knew about this happening were Vince McMahon and Earl Hebner. Because Earl Hebner was the one that Vince said, you need to ring the bell. There is no solid proof that Shawn Michaels knew. Triple H has said in the past he knew. Who knows if he actually knew?
Mm.
For me, yes, this is a huge moment for WWE. This was detrimental to the Attitude Era. But for Vince McMahon himself to steal something from wrestle culture, this gives me a big brown down.
I agree. What is quite funny is there's one wrestler that wasn't even on the card, and he'd be perfect for the main event for a triple threat, and that was The Undertaker.
Yep.
You could have put Undertaker as a triple threat, and he would have pinned one of those two, and then you got a new champion, and then he'll just drop it to Shawn or something like that in the next couple of weeks, and then because Kane could come out, cost Undertaker the title, and then there's your WrestleMania matches. But before we go into a different subject, a lot of people, obviously Dark Side of the Ring is a big one for me on this one. I listened to like 83 weeks and something to wrestle with. A lot of people are saying this is a work, and I think this is why viewers put this on the list. Do you honestly believe this is a work? I know what you just said, but the likes of Scott Hall and I think many others think this is a work.
No, this definitely was not a work.
It was a full-on shoot.
Yes, it was full-on shoot.
Well, obviously, that one person that likes to take hold of credit, Mr. Vince Russo, is bullshitting anyway, but he says it's all him. He just thought about it in his head. So, fuck Vince Russo. Next one is Stone Cold Steve Austin getting ran over in Detroit, 1999 Survivor Series. Now, obviously WWE has a thing that if you see a bald man, you run him over with a car because they tried to say with Goldberg. Would you say this is a top Attitude Era moment, or this like piss poor one?
This could have been a top Attitude Era moment.
Could have been.
It could have been. I'm going to say that it was not because of the way it was executed. There were so many other things that they could have done aside from having Rikishi come out and say, I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. There's so many other avenues they could have went down with this.
Do you mean different superstars?
They're different superstars. They're it could have just been a completely different way of doing it.
Yeah. If
Putting this on Rikishi and getting that one "I did it for the Rock" moment, it no, it didn't do it for me. Down.
is that because of the obviously you used the race car because you mentioned Bruno Sammartino and Buddy Rogers and stuff like that, and then Peter Maivia, Haichi Peter Maivia, stuff like that, Rocky Johnson. Yeah, it did feel uncomfortable. However, who can you replace that? And you can remember most of the roster or Attitude Era. I know you're tired, so sorry about this. But if there's anyone on the roster where like you could pick to replace Rikishi and say, no, I did it for a Rock, but yeah, screw fucking Austin, I did it.
I wouldn't have put it on somebody that was already on the roster. I would have put it on a new signee.
Oh, I think it was a new signee. Well, you had the Radicals come in January 2000s.
Hmm.
Could have done it then.
You could have, and that would have been something huge to give to somebody like
I would say
Eddie
Benoit.
Guerrero, Chris Benoit.
Yeah,
Um,
I the way Eddie and Perry, Saturn, and Demonico is, I think they probably wouldn't get like people won't believe it, but the person that Chris Benoit was back in WCW and he come over, I think he's more believable.
I think it would have been very believable with Eddie. Eddie coming over from WCW, wants to make a big impact right away, runs over the champion. Boom.
Yeah,
That puts
then
him right into the main event.
that he has to do Live Riders. If they had to run Austin over, they should have run him over with a Live Rider.
Yep.
But like a dark one with the hood up, so no one don't see in, and a black dark window. So yeah, yeah, I agree. It's a shit moment. Like as in, it's a memorable moment, but not a top Attitude Era moment, just because of the following stuff that we received.
It's a moment you definitely remember, but not necessarily one that you want to remember.
Not for the right reasons.
Right.
However, Mick Foley did a great job revealing it. Uh, um, anyone you could think of? Anyone you could think of? We got two more of the viewers.
No, well, let's go with them.
I'm gonna save my favorite to last. Triple H 2000 Survivor Series. So it's the main event is Austin Triple H.
Mhm.
Obviously, we just talked about Austin getting around over. Triple H is revealed to be the person behind Rikishi telling Rikishi to run over Austin. And they have a match. It's gone to the backstage. The Radicals are with Triple H and DX, so they're trying to help. It's in the parking lot. Triple H is waiting in the car to run over Austin. Austin disappears. And all of a sudden, Triple H is trying to get out of the car, and then a forklift just scoops in, traps him in there, because apparently he can't be fucked to jump over to the passenger seat to get out. And then it lifts the car up, which is like a Lincoln. I think it's called a Lincoln.
Yep.
And it's up, up, up. It's like really quite up, I will admit. And you can tell this was taped before the show. It was up, up, up. And it's the first time I ever heard swearing on WWE TV. Triple H goes, "Oh shit!" I go on the roof.
Yep.
And I thought that was an epic moment, but the follow up after that was shit because it didn't really go far. Because you couldn't remember that as much.
No, I at this point right now, I couldn't remember it as much, but I can guarantee Stone Cold Steve Austin is not forklift certified.
Oh, absolutely. He is certified to do. I know he's certified to do the cement truck. He had 2
Okay.
trainings for that. But yeah, for me, it's a shit moment.
I will agree with you. I
Like,
think
it's,
that whole storyline is
oh
just a
yeah.
shit moment.
I mean, it's that moment of California and that build up, great moment. I think it's more of the follow up after.
Right.
Mankind does his Superman impression and goes off to Hell in a Cell. By God, they killed him. I say this is top atmospheric fucking moment in Attitude Era.
When it comes to Attitude Era moments, it doesn't get much better than Mankind flying off the Hell in a Cell right through the announce table.
And bumping like I never seen that in my life. I never seen it. It's video game worthy. You know what I mean? Obviously, we do it now on 2K. We could just dive off the Hell in a Cell and whatever. But to see it in real life is just and the landing and then him going on the stretcher and it was everything from that whole entire 22 minutes is for me pure Attitude Era fucking nuts. And
The
that
thing
is
that did it for me is the fact that after going through the table, after getting stretchered off, he climbs back up onto the fucking Hell in a Cell and then goes through the cell.
that was not planned.
No, it was not planned.
But when he's
And
climbing up the cell, his shoulder is hanging off.
yep. And you could see Taker's face when Foley goes through the cell, like, oh shit, I think
Mm.
he's dead.
Or if that chair was a bit closer, probably.
Yep.
But yeah, to have the tooth go, I think, went through the nose or through the lip.
I think it went through his nose.
Oh, nice. I know there's a picture of him with the tooth up his nose,
Yep.
which is shown. It was shown a lot from late 1990 to 2002. That was shown like Mick Foley. Please do not try this at home. I think you cannot get as much attitude than this moment because I think this moment is atmospheric. I think you cannot describe really how the feeling, even when you watch it first time or when you watch it 1,000 times, you just get that adrenaline rush.
Yep, absolutely.
And I highly recommend people to go on YouTube and type in first impressions Mick Foley off of the cell. There's non-wrestling fans see this. I just noticed the t-shirt. Steve has a Mankind t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen, because he probably knew what I was going to say. I like that t-shirt. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's like 1996, isn't it? That's a 96 Mankind.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 96.
And it's yeah, so you see it on YouTube, and I literally just watching this non-wrestler fans, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And that's the reaction that we give already, and we know what's coming.
Yep.
And by God, Terry Funk there losing his shoes from Choke Slam for me still gets me.
Yes.
But we will be covering this up on in June when we do King of the Ring month.
Yes.
And I can't wait to go in so much detail on this. That is the sits that the viewers gave. Well, some of the sits. The others were, I think they got confused between New Generation or Ruthless Aggression. Someone picked John Cena retiring, so I thought, fuck me, I didn't know he was in there. Uh, there's one more I want to just throw at you because I know you're a Heart fan. British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels, one night only.
Ooh.
Now this hurts me as much as it hurts you because I'm a big British Bulldog mark. Now I think Bulldog should have won,
I completely agree.
and I think if WWE had a better relationship with the UK at that time, I think they would have.
Right.
Because they brought Tiger Ali Singh in
Mhm.
around this time because they wanted to do the India market.
Yeah.
That went to shit. So I'm thinking, is that the same thing they did with Bulldog in '97?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that.
It's a shame because if he won, even if it was the next night he loses, like Monday Night Raw, he loses, I'm happy
Right.
because Bulldog had that moment like he did in '92.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would have been good.
And Davey Davey was such a good guy. Um like personally knowing him, he was one of the nicest wrestlers that I had the pleasure of meeting.
Would
Um
Would you give it to him in 1999 when he came back?
I probably would have,
Yeah,
but
'cause you had
it surprised me that he came back in 99.
oh
Surprised
yeah,
me a
just
whole lot.
I mean you had that six pack challenge in 1999. Unforgiven, and he was part of that, and you could have put that on him, and then the next night Triple H gets it back or Austin.
Yep.
It's one of those where a flowers should have like when you say flowers today, the Bulldog gets his flowers in
Yep.
1999 or 1997. Um, so with that, um, short and sweet this week, ladies and gentlemen, because there's so much going on this weekend with the Super Bowl and work and everything. There's two news which I'm very happy with, very happy with. One of them is myself and Steve at Wrestling Pedigree have partnered up with the Meltdown. So they have a show called the Wrestling Roundtable, which me and Steve appear on. Steve sometimes when he's not working, and they came into partnership with us, and they will be on our show from the 22nd of February. Um, just to add a bit more opinions and more fun. And I feel the show deserves to be on a larger scale and see if we could sprinkle some wrestling pedigree dust on it to make it more YouTubey, Spotify, and make it the way that Jeff probably wants it to be. That makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause I think he deserves it. And plus, when it's on YouTube, you can see me swear so much than I do on here. Enough that I got a disclaimer.
Yes, and that was very fun to make, by the way.
Oh, you're the one that did it.
Oh, sure am.
You son of a bitch. The second news we have is we have Chaz Warrington, aka Mosh, will be on the show next week. Next Sunday. I think the time we gave him was 6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll have that show coming out on the Monday. So it'll be recorded. And yeah, there's so much content coming up that, by God, I just message Steve what I'm doing, and he goes, "Holy shit!" So with that, thank you for listening, Steve. Where can people find you? Everywhere, but where? Well, they can find you in a van. I know that. And
They can find me in a 30-foot truck.
well, please tell me you're coming out with a title troll.
Oh, I wish.
Just broke chips everywhere.
You can find me on Facebook under my government name, Steve Akins. You can find me on Instagram under So Many Tragedies. You can find me on X under pedigree_Steve. Find me slinging chips at your local supermarket or Walmart. And if you can't find me, then it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, that's so going on a t-shirt. You can find Wrestling Pedigree. Obviously, we're live tonight on our Facebook page, Wrestling Pedigree. You can find us on TikTok on Wrestling Pedigree also. I think we're on like 20,000 likes, and it's just like crazy that we only just started like 2-3 months ago. Instagram, YouTube, Wrestling Pedigree 92, and you can find me on I Love Wrestling podcasts in the next few weeks, as I did an interview with them. You can find me and Steve on Hit the Turnbuckle podcast, which is on their on their streaming on the Spotify and YouTube. And you will find me and Steve very much soon on other people's podcasts to cause trouble. So, from myself, Matty, from Steve, who's probably going to go sleep very, very soon.
Yes.
We'll be back next week with a great show, and just enjoy professional wrestling.
And don't be a dick.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next week.